Coco Gauff goes cold in shock United Cup loss. World number 4 Coco Gauff has been left with plenty to ponder ahead of the Australian Open after suffering a shock 3-sets loss to Spain's Jessica Bustos-Monero at the United Cup. In a match lasting 2 hours and 13 minutes, Gauff hit a whopping 54 unforced errors and served 14 double faults on the way to the 6-1, 6-7, 3-7, 6-0 loss in what was the ultimate cold-hot-cold performance. 2 nights earlier, Gauff swept to a 6-1, 6-1 win over Solana Sierra to help propel defending champions the United States to victory in their tie against Argentina. But in 30-degree heat in Perth on Monday, Gauff looked a shadow of herself during the first and third sets, meaning world number 9 Taylor Fritz must beat world number 38 Joy Munar in the men's singles rubber to keep the U.S. alive in the tie. World number 42 Bustos-Monero won the first 5 games of Monday's match, with Gauff committing 18 unforced errors in a first set lasting just 33 minutes. Major alarm bells were ringing as Gauff went down 1-4 in the second set. By that stage she had hit just 4 winners, but she launched a huge fightback to take the second set in a tiebreak. With her tail up, Gauff was expected to go on with the job in the third set. But Bustos-Monero had other ideas, using a bathroom stop to regain composure before breaking Gauff 3 times to wrap up the third set in 38 minutes. Coco's an amazing player. I knew it was going to be tough, Bustos-Monero said. I think I played really well for most of the match, so really happy for it. It was tough, but I know Coco and she's a fighter. She's there all the time in the match. You see, she won the second set, and I went to the bathroom and I was trying to focus, just stay point by point. That was my mentality in the third set. Switzerland became the first team to secure their spot in the quarterfinals after posting a 2-1 win over Italy in Sydney on Sunday night. On Monday in Sydney, Czechia secured a tie win over Norway after Jakub Mensik downed fellow top 20 star Casper Ruud 7-5, 7-6, 8-6, following on from dual Grand Slam winner Barbara Krejcikova's 6-4, 6-3 victory against Malene Helgo. The cold did not arrive all at once. It crept in quietly, the way doubt does, first around the fingertips, then settling deeper, until even the heart felt like it was playing in winter. Under the hard white lights of the United Cup, Coco Gauff stood still for a moment longer than usual. The crowd was there, the flags were waving, the noise was alive, but something felt distant, as if the court had slipped a few inches away from her feet. Tennis is a sport of motion, of rhythm and repetition, yet on this night, the rhythm fractured. And when the final point was played, the shock arrived, not loud, not dramatic, but cold. This was not the kind of loss that explodes. It didn't come with rackets smashed or tears spilling over. It came like frost. Coco Gauff has grown up in the public eye, a prodigy shaped under bright expectations and even brighter hope. At an age when most people are still deciding who they want to be, she was already representing something larger: possibility, progress, belief. Every step she takes onto the court carries history and future at once. That weight does not always show. On most nights, she moves freely, powerfully, as if joy itself were guiding her forehand. But the United Cup night was different. From the first games, there was a sense of resistance, as though the court refused to cooperate. Shots that usually sang off her strings landed half a step short. Footwork that normally glided began to hesitate. Tennis players talk about feeling the ball, about instinct and flow. Coco searched for it, adjusted, recalibrated, but the feeling remained just out of reach, like warmth behind glass. The opponent across the net played without fear. That too mattered. Tennis can be cruel that way, one player searching, the other striking freely, each reinforcing the other's reality. Momentum tilted. The crowd tried to lift her, but even cheers can feel heavy when the body refuses to respond. When the match ended, the scoreboard told its simple story. Plus. But the real impact lived elsewhere. Shock does not always look like disbelief. Sometimes it looks like stillness. Coco walked to the net, shook hands, and turned away. Her face was calm, but calm can be deceptive. Inside, questions were already forming. How did this slip? Where did it go? These are the questions that chill athletes the most, not because they lack answers, but because answers take time. The United Cup is a team event, and that matters too. Losses echo louder when they belong to more than one person. In individual tennis, defeat is private, even lonely. In team competition, it feels communal. Coco wasn't just playing for herself, she was playing for colors, for teammates, for a shared belief in momentum. When that momentum stalled, the cold spread. Yet this is where the story deepens. Because Coco Gauff has never been defined by a single match. Shock, when faced honestly, can be clarifying. It strips away illusions and exposes fundamentals. In the quiet moments after the loss, back in the locker room, away from cameras and commentary, the real work began. Not the physical training, not the tactical breakdowns, but the emotional accounting. Accepting disappointment without letting it harden into fear is one of the hardest skills in sport. The cold does not mean weakness. Sometimes it means awareness. Great athletes are not those who never lose warmth, but those who know how to find it again. Coco's career has already shown this pattern: setbacks followed by growth, disappointment followed by recalibration. She listens. She learns. She returns. The United Cup loss will not be remembered for the scoreline years from now. It will be remembered as a pause, a moment where expectation met reality and reality demanded patience. Tennis seasons are long, and greatness is not built in uninterrupted victory, but in how a player responds when the body and mind briefly disagree. There is something quietly powerful about seeing a young champion stand in shock and not run from it. Cold nights do not cancel summer. They prepare it. Somewhere beyond the United Cup court, Coco Gauff will step back into training, back into repetition, back into belief. The shock will thaw. The warmth will return, not because it always does, but because she has learned how to summon it. And when she does, this night will not feel like failure. It will feel like a turning point that taught her how to play through the cold.